This is Sarah with Posh Pooch Designs. And if you'll notice, I'm a little festive today. Today begins the beginning of our Christmas event 2016. I've got lots of neat things to show you today, and I also have quite a couple of questions that we're going to answer. Good morning, Anne. And have you got your coffee with you? Good morning, Elizabeth. I'm so excited. Next week, I'm going to have a special guest. Her name's Elizabeth Spivey. Very excited about next week's live video chat. But anyway, this week's live video chat begins our Christmas event 2016 for Posh Pooch Designs. And I've got lots of fun things planned. If you'll notice, every day I have put one of my patterns, and we're going to do this from, we're doing it from last Friday all the way through Christmas Eve. I'm going to have a pattern. Sometimes they'll run 2 or 3 days, sometimes less. Oh, you're in your car? That's okay. I think I've got better connection in my car than I do here sometimes. But anyway, we're going to have a pattern every day. I'm going to change them, and sometimes it'll be a day or two. Facebook is really slow about getting stuff out to you guys, and so I'm going to leave the $1.50 pattern for a day or two. And some of them may overlap, but I want to do this because I think it's so much fun. Okay, so we're going to have what I call our daily specials, a $1.50 pattern every day from my paid patterns. And those will be dog hats and sweaters. Sometimes they'll be Christmas, sometimes they won't. We'll just have to wait and see. That's something that's going on. Also, this week we started doing, I, me, myself, and I. We started doing some Christmas videos. Some of them are from patterns that I wrote in the past that people have requested that I do a video on, and some of them are new patterns. The one behind me there is the healing shawl that we got the video up for, I think, last Friday, I think, and that's done really well. People really like that. It's super easy. That's why people like it. Okay, so let me show you some things. Yesterday, we did our mini stocking video. This is a pattern I wrote, I think, 2 years ago, maybe 3. I don't remember. At my age, the years run into each other. But anyway, we did the video on this yesterday. It's super easy. It's the perfect size to fit a gift card. And it's also, these were originally, Ann just saw a coyote. Well, we are in Colorado here. Make sure the dogs are in the house. Anyway, I originally wrote this pattern for a friend. She wanted a little size that would fit little dog treats to use for a dog rescue to raise some money. And that's why I originally wrote the pattern. But these are great. You can stick them on your tree. You can put names on them and use them for place markers. You can hang a whole bunch of them up. I'm kind of addicted to making these. If you look behind me, I got a whole bunch made behind me. And I've got my tree up, but my tree's naked. And we're going to decorate it and have it all fancy. All right, we did that yesterday. One of the things we're going to do is this. This is a sparkly, you can see it sparkle, Christmas gift bag. It's perfect size for putting things in. I call it a grown-up gift bag because I think it's really classy and fun. But that's one thing we're going to do this week. And we're also going to make this garland. And this is my bauble garland. We're going to do this to put on our Christmas tree back there behind me. We're going to do that. We also have some little peppermint appliques. We're going to do these. And you know what? You can make these and put them on these. There you go. That's something we're doing this week. Maybe not. Within the next 6 weeks before Christmas. Also, we have our snowflake star. And if you'll notice the top of my tree back here, let's see if I can point. Right there. That's the same star as this one. I just did it in different colors. And it's a really easy star. You can see it's done with shell stitches. And it turns out really pretty. And this one is with the red heart shimmer. So it has a little bit of, I don't know if you can see the shimmer in it. But anyway, that's another thing we're going to do this week. The other thing we did that was new was we got our ornament Christmas scrubby video up and pattern. This is a free pattern. It's really fun. Just has little V stitches to make that. And you can see I did it in all 3 colors. And like I said, this is a great Christmas ornament. You can stick it on a package. You can hang it on the tub faucet or the sink faucet, and when you're done, clean out the tub or the bathtub with it, rinse it out, and hang it back up. Same thing in your kitchen. Just a great little festive scrubby, because it's the scrubby yarn. Look how hairy that is. Isn't that fun? I love this yarn. This has been another one that I've just really, really loved. All right, now I want to answer a couple of questions that I got this week. If you'll notice, I'm wearing a chained, just simple little necklace cow. Well, one of the questions I got this week was about this type of yarn, this sachet. And this is that yarn that is like lace. And I made tons of these, which I still wear and love, but I guess they're out of style now, but I don't care. But anyway, the lady said I made a ton of those lace necklaces or those lace cows. She said, and I got a bunch of this type of yarn on clearance. I don't know what to do with it. And so this is something that you can do with it. Just make a chain, push it together, make a chain, and it makes really pretty. And this one has silver in it. So I'm going to make this one for me to wear as a chain for this Christmas. This was my one I wore last Christmas a lot. I was really into gold last year. So, and this one's super long. I used the whole skein. See, I still think they're lovely. You know, I've never had style. I only have my own style. So anyway, that was to answer her question. One thing that you can do. The dogs are barking, so it's okay. They bark all day long. So that was to answer one question. If you don't want to make this and you have this, make this. You just chain it with a great big hook. So much fun. And you know what else? You can finger chain it also. You don't even need a hook. That was one question. Another question I got was about these. And I made these last year for our get-together with our crochet ladies around here. And the question I got was, can I put this one on this kind? And you can. I made this one. Let me set that down because my hands are busy. Okay, I made this one exactly the same as I made this one, only I didn't put the sleeves on. I just made the thing. See, here's the button in the back. I did it exactly the same, added just a little funky doodle button. And so this will fit this because it's stretchy. And I love coffee cozies. It's something I use all the time. So that was to answer that question. All right, now we're going to answer a big question. I got, I'm going to say about 10 different messages or emails from people in the last month asking me about the foundation single crochet. And yesterday I did a quick little demonstration of how to do the foundation single crochet. And, oh, look, my knot's showing. Oh. Yes, I do tie knots sometimes. Okay, do you like my hat? Somebody tell me you just love my hat. I was going through a box of things in the garage that we hadn't gone through in 5 years. We moved out here to Colorado about maybe 5.5 years ago. And when we moved out here, we had some things in some boxes marked Christmas, only they were turned backwards. When we moved from one house to the house we're in now, we just put a lot of that stuff in the garage, and it was turned backwards, and I didn't see it because I write with big black, you know, like Sharpie, Christmas across the side. And I switched a lot of that stuff out to clear ones, but this one, so I found this box, or this Rubbermaid. Anyway, so I opened it up, and it was Christmas stuff I hadn't seen in like 6 years from before we moved out here, and this hat was in there. So I thought, I am going to wear that hat and wear my matching shirt and put a little red on. Have some fun. Okay, anyway, back to the foundation single crochet. Now, I did a demonstration video yesterday that shows you the difference. And I'm going to show you the two that I made. This one here is the foundation single crochet. Now, I used great big yarn. This is Hometown USA. And this is the traditional where you chain across the bottom and you put one single crochet in each chain. Now, this is it, like I said in the video, this is a great technique. We use it every day. Anytime you're going to start with the single crochet, you're going to start on a chain, but this isn't very stretchy. And the purpose of using a foundation single crochet is if you want a stretchy band. And the difference in stitching them is you're stitching the chain and the single crochet in one stitch opposed to stitching the chain and then stitching the single crochet. I like doing this because I can count my stitches better, because you just lean it forward and you can count the braids on the top, and that's your stitches. When you're counting chains, a lot of times I get really confused, like, did I count that lump or that bump or this, you know, and you get a little confused. So that's why I kind of like using this also. But it's a great, great technique for anything that you want more of a narrow, stretchy band, like maybe around a hat or an armband, maybe on a dog sweater, cow. I mean, you can use it on anything. You need just a little bit of stretch. Another thing is that it's really great with cotton, because cotton doesn't have any stretch at all. And if you're going to make a cotton hat or anything that you want, just have just a little bit of give, starting your first row with the single crochet, the foundation single crochet, will give you just a little bit of stretch. And that's why it's good. And I did a demonstration yesterday of how to do it, and I'm not going to go through that whole demonstration today. I'll put that link. It's like, I want to say 4 or 5 minute video. It's not very long at all. And I'll put that I'll put that video in the notes under the under this video, and I'll also do it when I do I'll card it when I go and make the YouTube video. So anyway, so that you can know how to do it. One of the other things she said is that she's figured out she can do a foundation double crochet, she can do a foundation triple. She's got that all clear in her head, but she just couldn't get the foundation single crochet. And it's not any different than those, other than you're doing a single and instead of a double or a triple, but she found it to be a little more confusing. And the main thing is when you're stitching is knowing where to go in down here. Because when you're stitching your foundation double crochet, or single crochet we're talking about today, you're going to go in those chains that you made at the beginning to pull up a chain. Good morning, Tina. That you made at the beginning. Another thing to remember is the different, I mean, not really the difference, the same. When you chain and do a row of single crochets, it ends up being the same size as when you did a foundation single crochet. Here's this one and here's this one, and they're relatively, if I can hold them, they're relatively the same size if you did your gauge the same. So, and that's another thing, make sure you measure. I'm telling you, I say this all the time, the key to consistent stitches is measuring. Measure, measure, measure. I've said this probably more times than I am alive, which we don't want to talk about that. When I first began to crochet, I knew nothing about gauge. To me, it was all about measuring. I have, you know, measuring utensils everywhere with me. I measure everything. And the gauge thing, I kept thinking, oh, why do I need to make a swatch? Well, I understand it's very, very important in knitting. I learned that. But for crochet, I just measure as I go. If the pattern says it's supposed to be, say, I don't know, so many chains and it should measure so many inches, I'm going to do those chains and I'm going to measure my inches. And I have this kind and those little 99-cent ones that you get at Hobby Lobby. I have them everywhere, all over my house. I probably have them in all my purses too. So the key to consistent even crocheting is to measure. Now, one woman was saying, every time I make a hat, it's way, way too big. And I said, are you measuring as you go? Well, I measure after I get it all done. Well, that's not going to work. Unless you, if you're making it as a gift and you're going to go by, say, the measurements that are on the pattern. Something that I have learned, if you're making a hat for a certain head size, I always go down a couple of stitches. Because hats are stretchy, and especially with crochet, after you wear it a little bit, it does stretch, and you don't want it to fall off and be way too big. So that's the key. Make it a little bit, I'm going to say a couple stitches or maybe even an inch smaller. And I do that with my dog patterns too. And because people don't realize that there is stretch in yarn, and then also after you wear something for a while, it stretches out. I mean, we know that. We get a new sweater and it fits perfect, and then halfway through the day, we look down and it's baggy, Yarn stretches. Did you see that fuzzball just fall off my hat? I don't know why that cracked me up. Anyway, to recap what we talked about today, we talked about all the new videos and patterns that are coming. This one was yesterday. The snowflake, the star back there. See it? our peppermint candy cane appliques. We're going to make some trim for the tree. Oh, I forgot about this one. This is the Jingle Bell dog collar. This pattern is about 8 years old. It's super simple and it's lots of fun. And I'm going to do a video on this and show you some different variations that you can do with it. These are great for kitty cats too. When my son was little, he was so ornery. I used to put bells on his shoes so I could hear where he was in the house. Because if he was silent, something was wrong. We talked about all the new stuff, and then, of course, this one was, we did last week. This one, I just love this. And I'm going to hang these on the tree behind me. And because they can be ornaments, they can be gifts, they can be scrubbies, you know, and I love the idea of just hanging it on my kitchen faucet. And I can scrub out the pan, rinse it out with good hot water and Dawn dish soap and hang it back up to dry. And they dry really fast. And these can also go through the wash. I didn't say that. But don't put them through the dryer. I didn't have good results with mine. It didn't melt it, but it came out not the same. So just run it through a gentle cycle with a little bit of Dawn and put them on top of your dryer to dry. Anyway, so we talked about those. And we talked about this can work for this. Same size because it's stretchy. So it works great. And then we talked about our foundation double crochet. And like I said, I made a little video. It's on the YouTube channel, so you can go and watch that. And I'll put that on the below the video. So the beginning of our Christmas event 2016 daily pattern deals, and I'm working on having a fun on the second Tuesday in December of having a virtual ugly sweater party. And I'm trying to get together some gifts, some gift cards, and some fun stuff. So share that around because you have to be on the live video to win prizes. That's the truth. You have to be on the live video to win those prizes. Second Tuesday in December, the virtual ugly sweater Christmas party. Well, thanks for being with me today. I hope you're excited about a lot of the new Christmas patterns and things that we have going on. And remember, next week, next Tuesday, I'm going to have a special guest. Elizabeth Spivey from Callie's Clips and Croatians. Okay, let's try this again. Callie's Clips. No. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Elizabeth Spivey from Callie's Clips and Crochet Creations will be with me here in the Yarn Studio for a fun and probably pretty silly live video chat. We might even have some patterns to give away. So, Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. I don't even know what that means. Well, I hope you have a lovely week, the rest of this week. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, stay crafty, my friends.